Alright, time to do some Spanish. Our topic for today is going to be subject pronouns and the verb ser. So, let's get started. Alright, so what are the subject pronouns? Well, in English we use them all the time. Our subject pronouns in English are I, you, he, she, we. Like you guys, you're talking to a group of people, they. And in Spanish, our subject pronouns are set up a little bit differently. So let's look at our subject pronouns in Spanish. A couple things that I want to draw to your attention. First of all, if you're talking to your friend and you're like, "Are you going to the movies tonight?" You're going to use the pronoun tú. Notice that you've got that accent on the tú. Also notice that you've got an accent on el. Please make sure that you guys really focus in on writing your accents. It's very important in our writing. But in Spanish-speaking countries, they also differentiate if you're talking to a friend or maybe a sibling and talking to like your principal or someone that you don't know. So we've got that formal and familiar idea. And also some of that depends on what country you're in as well. So that's something that we will continue to talk about as we go along. So just think of that tú form is that familiar, or in Mexico, oftentimes it's used for that familiar form, whereas in Costa Rica, they use the usted form for everyone. So whether it's your best friend or your principal, they only use really the usted and ustedes form. They don't really use the tú form. So anyway, so you've got yo, tú, él, ella, usted. Ud is short for usted. Nosotros, nosotras, vosotros, and vosotros. That's you all familiar. Oftentimes in your homework assignments or an activity, you say you all, and in Spain, because they only use the vosotros form in Spain. And then we've got ellos, ellas, and ustedes. Ustedes, you all, and that is UDS, that's the abbreviation for ustedes. Alright, so far so good. Alright, so what is the job of the subject pronoun? So the subject pronoun, remember the function of pronouns is to replace the noun, so it replaces the subject in the sentence. So, for example, we can say John is nice, John is tall, John is a construction worker, or instead of saying John repeatedly, we can just say he, if we wanted to replace that. Same thing with Spanish. We could say los chicos son, the kids are nice, the kids are busy, the kids are going to the party tonight. Or we can just say they are going to the party tonight. So subject pronouns are very, very important. Alright, so very basic, but I want you to stop. This is your first opportunity to para y practica, stop and practice. So I'm going to ask you to hit pause and go ahead and write the subject pronoun for those people listed. Alright, we'll go over the answers once you've had an opportunity to practice. So, go for it. Alright, let's see how you did. So we've got los chicos, you, familiar, my friends and I, and that's masculine, your friends and you, Max and Mary. Alright, so let's check our answers. Los chicos, we can say ellos, right? You familiar, that's going to be tú. My friends and I, and if we're talking about just a group of gentlemen, then it's going to be nosotros. Your friends and you, that's ustedes if we're formal or just talking about anywhere else essentially but Spain. And then Max and Mary would be ellos. Notice since we've got a guy and a girl, it'd be ellos. But if we had two girls' names listed, then it would be ellas. Notice on your notes, you've got an additional 4 questions. So make sure that you do those at some point. And we'll go over those answers in class. So you'll get some extra practice just to make sure that you're good to go. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the verb ser, which means to be. So, of course, here are our conjugations in English. And if you'll notice, the verb ser in English is also irregular. I am, you are, he is, she is, we are, you all are. So it's irregular in English as well. So, what are our conjugations then in Spanish? Yo soy, tú eres, él es, ella es, usted es. Nosotros somos, vosotros sois. Ellos son, ellas son, ustedes son. So the word soy means I am. The word son could mean they are or you all are. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Very important verb. We use this verb all the time. Alright, so here's your next opportunity to stop and practice. So first write the correct pronoun, subject pronoun, and then in the second blank I want you to write the correct form or conjugation of ser for each subject. So I'll go ahead and give these to you. Alright, so go ahead and hit pause and we'll go over your answers here shortly. Okay, let's see how you did. La estudiante should be ella es. Tú y tus amigos, vosotros sois. So notice that that's familiar, tú y tus amigos. Mis hermanos y yo would be nosotros somos. Marta y Angela, notice we've got two girls there, so it would be ellas son. And los estudiantes would be ellos son. Notice los is masculine, so that means ellos is going to be masculine as well. Alright, and if you'll notice at the bottom of your notes you've got, 5 additional practice problems. Please make sure that you do those because we will go and check those answers in class to make sure that you are on the right track. Please make sure that you jot down any questions that you may have and you ask those in class so we can continue to really build our Spanish foundation. Thanks.